might not get me and think you're going crazy. I lasted long ago, you're mad, oh maybe. Can't wait to meet you. So join the animatronic family. And we're live. Okay. Hi YouTube! Hi YouTube. My name is Isabella Escamilla and I am an aspiring model and I am currently with John Casablancas, and I wanted to make this video to walk y'all through my current journey and how it's going and how I got started as a model. So let's get into it. Okay, hopefully the tripod don't do me dirty and records right. I think it's recording in 0.5 though, and I don't like that. Hold up. I stopped recording on the tripod. I lasted long ago, you're mad, oh maybe. I can't wait to meet you. So join the animatronic family. We open real soon. Try your best to hold on to sanity. You might not get me and think you're going crazy. I lasted long ago, you're mad, oh maybe. Why is it not working? Bro. Can't wait to meet you. Join the animatronic family. I know it didn't turn off. I don't like... See, I really don't like this angle. Okay, well, I'm curious to see what this will look like. And my lashes are like being really weird and they're not like sitting the way I want them to. But that is okay. You might not get me and think you're going crazy. Can't wait to meet you. So join the animatronic family. We open real soon. Oh, okay. Try your best, though. Why is it zooming in? What the heck? What is it doing? What is up, YouTube? Hi, my name is Isabella Escamilla. I am a YouTuber and I'm also an aspiring model. I currently go online by the name Bella Scamilla, and I just wanted to give y'all a short introduction of who I am and how I got started as a model. So let's get into it. Okay, so my camera setup is very odd, and I have an iPad down here and I have my GoPro up here. So I'm very nervous on how this is gonna look on camera and on the iPad. So I don't know how this is really gonna go, but that's okay. So I wanted to be a hand model at first back in the summer of 2025, and I started looking for how I could become a hand model. I started Googling and I started researching, and I came across this website called Barbizon Modeling, and I ended up getting an audition with them. And the unfortunate thing about them is you can only audition once every, I believe, 4 years or something. And I did get like the part with them, like to be represented by them or something, or like to do what's it called, to do training with them. But the thing is, there was a really big fee and me and my family did not have the money and could not pay for that fee at that time, so we didn't end up doing that. And I remember I was really sad. I was so devastated because I wish I could have been with them and done like the training through them at that time. But that same summer, I had applied to maybe 4 or 5 other different websites or different forms that I would find online. and I found this other one. It was in my area, and they go by the name of Studio One. Um, Me and my family jumped into this not knowing any background or any sort of like how to or guide on really mm, how to really go about this whole process. So we got with Studio One, and they had messaged me back. They were like spamming and blowing up my phone with messages, asking if I was interested and seeing if we could set up a phone call or something. And apparently, like, I don't really remember how it went because it was back in like this was all the way back in maybe September. Not that long ago, I know, but I don't really tend to remember things. So um, I got with Studio One, and they offered a photo shoot. Um, so me and my dad, we drove over to their studio. It was like local in my area, and they took my photos and claiming that they were gonna make me a portfolio. They made me a website and did all this other stuff, um, but they didn't really explain everything the right way, and they kind of scammed me and my dad over. It was about 5 grand, I believe, for only a portfolio, or a small portfolio. They didn't even get me digitals. They didn't get me headshots. They only took my body shots, really. um, Everybody was so nice, but they still scammed us over. So after that, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. My dad certainly didn't want to pay, all that money just for that little bit of what happened. They created me a website, and then we found this company called John Casablancas. John Casablancas, I applied to them maybe a month prior, before that whole thing with Studio One, right? And with John Casablancas, they set up, or they called my dad, I believe. They gave my dad a call. Obviously, he answered, and the rest was history. And that's how. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but after my dad got the phone call, right? Um, he like scheduled a meeting with them, or wait, oh, no. I got the phone call, actually. I like mixed it up. Okay, so I got the phone call, right? So they called me, and I picked up, and then we set up a meeting with my parents and them, and they were uh, like it was like a maybe there was a lot of other people in the meeting too. I remember, and it wasn't just me in there. And they were going one by one. I had to remember this short commercial script. It was a CoverGirl commercial, um, but I memorized it, and then we did the meeting, and there was like a few selected out of like the whole class. So I believe whenever we went into that meeting, everybody like okay, I'm getting so confused in my own thoughts. Hold on. Okay, so then we found John Casablancas after Studio One, right? And I believe they gave me a call. I don't exactly remember, but something like that. And then we ended up going to the Zoom meeting because they were apparently looking for new faces. They do that every month or every few months. They look for new faces, or I believe they're always looking for new faces. But I am currently still with them, so not too much shade. Not too much shade on John Casablancas. Um, I certainly did have my doubts about their company, but I am currently with John Casablancas, and I am one of their many talents. So, um, the process of me getting there was through that meeting, through that meeting, and we did the meeting, and they kind of just got to know everybody in the room because it was like a Zoom call, and it wasn't just me; it was a whole bunch of other people. We all did kind of one-on-ones, I believe, for that one. I had to memorize a commercial, a short commercial, and I memorized it, and obviously I did amazing, right? Duh. And then I forgot what happened after. And then um a, maybe like a few days, and then a few days later they messaged me, or I believe they messaged my parents, and they told us how they wanted to do a second meeting one-on-one. So we got in the car, or I remember this exact day, like we were at my brother's football practice, and we did the meeting in the car, and the lady loved me, because who wouldn't love me? But besides the point, I'm just kidding. But um, the lady liked me, and she had me say my commercial again. Um, and she went over the terms and how everything would go, and the process and the classes and the fees. She went over those heavy fees, girl, because when I tell you it was not cheap, it was not cheap. I don't remember how much it was, but I thank God that my parents paid for that. My dad, in specific, he paid for this cost of um, training with John Casablancas, and um, that's how I got where I am now. So over that course, this was all the way back in maybe September, around the time I was with Studio One, and mm, before I started training with John Casablancas, I was with this website called Kids Casting, where I would go on there and I would look for castings in my area. But the thing is, y'all, I live in Texas, and since I live in Texas, there's not really too much here that somebody with little to no experience or little to no work to show for themselves, like digitals and headshots, I could really get. So I couldn't find no work. The most I got off of Kids Casting, and I was with that website for maybe 3 months. I had paid for it. It wasn't the most expensive thing, but it was still pretty costly. Um, and Kids Casting is definitely one of those websites where I wouldn't recommend if you're just beginning. If you're just beginning, then I would definitely recommend um, I forgot what it's called, but I will put some websites right here that I would recommend for you if you are wanting to become a model, or start um, if you want to start acting and stuff, and getting small gigs in your area. Um, so you can like click on these right here, or type them into your computer, or whatever you want to use, right? Um, but then after those few months, I had got this one thing with the magazine, and they just had me send in some photos. They put me in a magazine, and I was so excited. And then that fee dropped because I don't think companies give you free magazines if you're not featured in, like, let's say the cover or something. And I was just in one of the pages, so I have the screenshots on my phone, but I do not have the actual hand copy magazine. So yeah, I will show y'all actually on my phone. And this all happened so fast. Like, the time literally flew by. I'm not even kidding. It really did. I really hope my tripod is getting all this. Oh my gosh, y'all! I have the exact. Oh my gosh, y'all! I have the exact screenshots from whenever I was in that meeting with them. Um, so I had that meeting with John Casablancas October 16th, 2025. Um, Here's one of the screenshots I have of the billing, like from the meeting. I don't know if you can see that on the tripod. I hope you can. I really hope you can. Right there. And then this too, it's another like payment plan thing. But those are just photos of their payment plans. But whenever I did apply to them, the one thing they did not say is that it was going to cost money, which kind of was a little sucky that they didn't provide that information. And my first few really gigs that I've gotten was okay, so from starting from October all the way till now. Right now it is currently right now we're currently in April. So all the way from October to April, I have gotten 2 gigs, and I've participated in 2 gigs, like two things. So I have not gotten any paying work yet, and I am about to graduate from John Casablancas, and I really do hope that I will be successful with them and maybe eventually get another agency after them, or a little bit later down the line. But I am really hoping that I can get this to be a long term thing, and this would maybe be my full time job one day, because personally, I would rather be doing modeling and photo shoots than working the average 9 to 5 job. But I've never wanted um, a regular job anyway. But that's a different video, okay? Um, but another reason I'm making this video is because I really want y'all to kind of know more about me and who I am, rather than just what y'all see me post like casually on the side. So I really just wanted to go into depth of my modeling journey so far and how it's really going. Um, another okay, so I started training with I started training with John Casablancas around October, maybe October 25th, something like that. Um, and the classes are on Zoom. They're all on Zoom, and they're about an hour and 30 minutes long each, right? Um, so yeah, I'll be sitting in that chair for a very long time. But they give us breaks. So at the beginning, they would go over like what to expect and what material we should buy and all this good stuff. I really want to say, if you're an aspiring model and you really want to jump into modeling and you want professional training, John Casablancas is definitely the people for you. But if you're somebody who wants to kind of run everything on your own and you want to just learn all at your own pace, then totally go for it, and you could definitely be like a freelance model. I have a friend, she's a freelance model, and I believe she does get paid, but John Casablancas also helps set up everything you need to know. So that's why I'm really glad I'm with them. They make everything way easier than it really should be. So that's awesome for me. Um, but my personal experience, I would go through the classes here and there. Or, okay, the classes are every Saturday, right? Every Saturday from 1:30 p.m. for me, 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a commitment because you have to give up pretty much any other plans that you have that Saturday or every Saturday until May. So around that time. So it is definitely a commitment. But if you're really wanting to do this and you stay committed, then you could definitely achieve your goal. I would want to say that my parents have definitely kept me on track a lot when it comes to this stuff, because typically I won't like do this stuff on my own, which is kind of a bad thing, but yeah. So we're in October. I'm still with kids casting till November, and then I'm not getting no outside gigs besides that. And then here comes January, or past December, and here comes January, and I hear about this other agency called Segura Talent, or Segura Agency. I believe that's what they're called. So I go to this thing that I see in Dallas, and in Dallas it was like a little promo for a quinceañera gig or something. Like it was a promo for a quinceañera expo, and you did have to pay money, and they did not specify that. So me and my family did not end up doing that. Hold on, let me close my door. Okay, as I was saying, me and my family did not end up doing that, and then I ended up meeting this other guy that was at that same event, and he introduced his agency and how he works with the quinceañeras that participate in that expo. So I talked to him, got his card. Who is Oscar? So I talked to him and I got so I talked to him and I got his card, and from there I tried to work with him and have him as my agency. And he seemed like a great person to work with, but I told him how I was currently training with John Casablancas, so he thought it wasn't a good idea to be pursuing both at the same time. And me and my family came to like conclusion to not um, to wait until I was done with John Casablancas. And throughout this whole time, I've had speculations, or I've seen things on the internet that John Casablancas is a scam, or that they don't really do what they say they're gonna do. But I'm already enrolled. I'm already enrolled with the program, so I guess I'll just see what happens. And if me and my family get scammed, then I have the material and the knowledge to go do what I need to go do to fix that, obviously. But um, after that whole after that expo that I went to, it was basically a quinceañera expo casting. It was the very first casting I ever attended, not knowing how to really come, not knowing really how to look or anything, and neither did none of the other girls. It was an open call anyway. Um, Maybe a month later, I saw this thing on kids. Wait, maybe like that same week I had applied to this because I was okay. So maybe like a week later, I was still with kids casting. This is in December, and I saw this one of these casting ads that they were searching for background work. So I applied, and they called me back, or I believe they ended up they emailed me, and they emailed me the address and how everything was gonna go and who I would be, and so I was featured as a background character, and then I got one line in the in the show Sweet Tweets, directed. Hold up, let me look at my credits. I forgot what it's called. um, but I got sidetracked. Hold up, I want to see what my camera is seeing. My tripod. Hold on. Oh, okay, it's doing good. Okay, but the background work that I got to do was for a episode of a series, and I don't know when it comes out actually. All I know is that I was able to be a part of it. I was part of the first episode of the first season. I know the first episode is called Sweet Tweet. So I'll look back later and see. It was filmed. It is by German Girl Productions. I'm pretty sure. So I got to work with them, and then I realized that background work is not creditable. Like you can't put that on your resume. So my resume was still blank. And later, around January, I finally got Instagram, and I started to look for castings because I heard a lot of people would find castings on Facebook and Instagram, or online, just online. So I don't have Facebook, so I started looking on Instagram, and I found this one local to me in Dallas, and it was for quinceañera. It was for a quinceañera runway show. I just finished that up. I want to say not last month. Um, what comes before April? Oh, I just finished up that show in February, and I'll put some photos like on the screen for y'all to see. Um, I was very I was very happy whenever I got that, and um, the casting was, I believe, a open call, but they did train me, so I'm really glad that I got free in person runway training. So that was awesome. And then they did train me, and I was really glad of the fact that I got to experience in person training because John Casablancas does not provide in person training. They only provide, through Zoom calls. Um, but with their program, you can definitely get a lot and learn a lot because they have a lot of the coaches in every class are either casting directors or actors or models. And we all want the same thing, so obviously they're gonna help us out. Um, but um, that was basically my first gig ever, and now that I'm getting more of the gist, I do have my own digitals now. I'll put my Instagram up right here so y'all can go follow me, and I'll put my Instagram up right here so y'all can follow me, at Isabella Escamilla Official. And then I'll put my personal one right here so y'all can also go follow that. It is a private account, so I will approve. But I'll approve anybody, don't worry. But with that being said, I am now where I am right now. It is currently April 21st, 5:08 p.m. and have a a upcoming runway show July 2nd, so that is really fun for me, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really glad I've gotten all this experience, and um, I'm really glad I'm in the position that I'm in right now, and I'm glad that I'm able to be in the position that I'm in right now. This next fashion show that I will be a part of is a paying gig. I only get 15%, but it's better than nothing, so I will take it. And it's also really hard to find paid work if you're not with an agent. That's what I've experienced personally, but I'll see what the future holds for me, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Um, I really I'm really glad that I was able to sit down and talk to y'all about everything and how my life has been going for the past few months, and I just want to keep going, and I'm really excited to have all these new opportunities and be a part of all these upcoming projects. And um, I just really want to be successful in this. So I thank you, as my followers, for following me along in this journey little by little. And sneak peeks will be coming soon, I guess. So I love you guys, and that was basically my journey so far as a model. I love y'all. Bye bye.